Hello again, everybody. This is Rocket Rick J18, and today I want to talk to you about um, my pickups over the course of the last week or so. And because there's a fair number of cards, some modern and some um, vintage, I want to do it in two parts, and I want to do the vintage part today, and then later on I'll do a shorter video about the modern cards. Okay, so I am working, as you know, I'm working on several sets. One of which is the 1940 play ball, and I have one card to show you from that set. And then I have, uh, let's see, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine cards from the 1962 top set, uh, all of which are green tint variations. And, well, all except one. One is I actually have the green tint variation, and so this is the regular variation. And so I'm going to show you those. I also have a couple of other cards, including one Japanese Menko card that I want to show you that are not really part of any set that I'm working on, but I just really like the player or the subject matter. And in either case, I've bought an individual card. And then finally, I have one non-sports card that I want to show. Um, and it's from the 1954 uh, Worldwide News Top Scoops set. And I, I like that set. I'm not really collecting the whole set at this point, but who knows what might happen down the line. Okay, well, without any further delay, let's point the camera down and take a look at some cards. And we'll get the because I like having or living in a rectangularly coordinated world. Uh, it's as close to that as is possible. Uh, and we'll zoom in some because otherwise you'll be looking at the background more than you'll be looking at anything else. So the first card I'm going to show you is from that 1954 top set. And this is a card which uh, depicts the sale of Manhattan Island by the Indians to the English or Dutch settlers, I guess I should say. And this, I don't know, there's so many things you could say about it, but suffice it to say, Manhattan Island is worth a lot more today than it was in 1623. Uh, so, the back of the card has a little newspaper like presentation and has a picture, a drawing of Peter Minuit, who is the leader of the Dutch settlers. And then it has a little, you know, sort of newspaper story about that, or a mock newspaper story, and then a little blurb about the next card, which was the purchase of the Louisiana Territory from the French. So that's that card. The next card is from the 1940 play ball set, and it is the Jean de Sautel's card, and it is card number 28. And I'm sort of following my uh, strategy of acquiring cards more or less in numerical order. Although I will tell you, I have not yet purchased card number 1, which is the Joe DiMaggio card, or card number 27, which is the Ted Williams card. And both of those, are high 3 figures and maybe 4, maybe getting into the 4-figure area. So they'll come along in due time, but not quite yet. So Gene Sawtels was a catcher for the Boston Red Sox, and journeyman player. Just turn into the back of the card. It indicates that he's had his ups and downs in the American League, but has established himself in the 1939 season. Um, And, you see that this is the 1940 set, as all the play ball cards are, is a product of Gum Inc. in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is the same corporation that later produced the Bowman cards. So that's Gene de Sautel's. Now we're going to turn to the green tint variations that I acquired. The first one is the first card in the series in which the green tints appear, card number 110, Bill Skowron, or Moose Skowron, as he was also known. And he was the first baseman for the Yankees for quite a number of years, during which the Yankees appeared in a pretty large number of World Series, of which they won quite a few. But towards the end, their last one in that run was 1964, and they had lost in '63, been shut out by the Dodgers, and they lost again in '74 in a 7-game series to Bob Gibson in Game 7, and in which game, and that was the series, and in that game, Mickey Mantle hit his final home run in World Series competition to set a record which still exists of 18, although there have Reggie Jackson, I know, has, if you count all postseason games, including ALCS and ALDS and so forth, play-in games or wild card games, Reggie Jackson holds the record now, and I think it's 19. But he didn't hit as many home runs in the World Series as Mickey did, so that's a record that still stands. And you'd have to get in a lot of World Series to hit that many home runs, and obviously it's a more daunting task, considering that you have to go through at least 2 rounds of playoffs before you get to the World Series, and some teams as many as 3 games. So that's Green Tint Bill Skowron. And here is the card I spoke of earlier. This is the regular issue Los Angeles Angels team card, which is card number 132. And I discovered, as I have in a number of cases, that the card that I thought I had turned out to be the green tint version, and I didn't have the regular version in my base set. So I'm going back to pick up those as well. That's Los Angeles Angels. The next card is card number 158, and it is the Milwaukee Braves version of the green tint issue. You can tell the green tints 2 ways. One is that the colors are usually a bit brighter and less muted. And then also that the card is the picture is not quite as good a focus. So those are the two of the ways, and there are some other things too that are more unique to the individual cards. These team cards are really hard to tell apart, and you almost have to be able to have 2 of them to compare. The next green tint version is card number 160. That's Dick Stewart, sometimes known as Dr. Strangeglove, in an homage to the movie. Dick was not known for his fielding prowess, and the Pirates traded Stewart when they got Don Clendenin, I believe. So that's card number 160, Dick Stewart. Also, card number 162, Sammy Drake. 1962 was the inaugural year of the New York Mets. The American League expanded first in 1961, but the National League did not follow until 1962. Mets played their first games in the Polo Grounds until Shea Stadium was built in Flushing Meadows in the borough of Queens. Polo Grounds, if you don't know, is actually on Manhattan Island, although it's directly across the river from the Harlem River from the Bronx and Yankee Stadium. So that's the green tint version of Sammy Drake. The next card is the green tint version of Don Lee of the Minnesota Twins. Now, the Twins, as you know, moved from Washington, D.C., where they were known for many years as the Senators. Same franchise. Calvin Griffith, the owner. And so the Twins were not an expansion team, as many people, including myself when I was younger, thought. And the replacement Minnesota Twins was a new franchise, and it was the expansion team, even though they had the same name as the team that played there the year before. Next is the green tint version of Leo Posada As far as I know, no relation to Jorge Posada, but I thought I would maybe do some follow-up investigation on that issue. Leo was a outfielder for the Kansas City Athletics, and this is despite the fact that the sky is blue, it is the green tint version. So card number 168. Next is the rookie card of Hall of Famer Ron Santo, Cubs third baseman, and this is the green tint version of that card. Next and lastly is card number 193, which I bought just because it was so cheap. This is Eddie Casco, and you can see readily the green tinted sky in the background. Some of the green tints, it's awfully hard to see the green tint, and this is one where it is fairly easy to see the green tint. So, card number 193. Okay, well, that takes care of my additions to the 62 Topps superset, which has all of the variations and as well as the green tint variations. So the next card I want to show you is a special card, and it is the 1964 Topps Venezuelan card, which is the rookie card of Richie Allen. And I think this card possibly has been possibly trimmed. I'm not sure of that, but it looks it's certainly a rough cut across the top if it hasn't been trimmed. But anyway, there's Richie Allen and John Hernstein, 1964 rookies. The back is where you can really tell the difference. This is there's no color on the back, it's just black and white. But it is indicate the copyright for the Topps company. And Richie Allen went on to be Rookie of the Year in 1964, by the way. Probably should be in the Hall of Fame. He was American League Most Valuable Player. A little bit later on, I'm not sure whether it was 72 or 73, but somewhere along in there. And great player. Not particularly well treated, although he did finish his career in Philadelphia. Dick Allen was from Wampum, Pennsylvania, which is over in the western part of the state, and one of the people he knew growing up was Chuck Tanner. So that's kind of an interesting connection there. He also had a brother who played in the major leagues briefly, Hank Allen, for the Senators. And I think he had a third brother who played organized baseball, but I don't think he got to the minors. I'm not 100% sure of that. If he did, it was just for a cup of coffee. The next card I have to show you is the Japanese Menko card. It's from the 1930s, and this card is simply called Bunt. And this is some of these cards just depicted generic players doing something, and that it's the something that is featured, whether it be pitching or bunting or swinging away or catching a baseball or whatever it might be. So it's kind of interesting to see the umpire partially crouched behind the catcher who has started to get in the upright position to potentially field the bunt. And the hitter, of course, is in the act of bunting. Presumably, he's already done it because it just looks like the play has progressed sufficiently to make that assumption. And I'm adding that to my collection of Japanese Menko cards from this time period. And the last card that I want to show you is a rather badly beat up 1931 Zeenut from the Pacific Coast League, featuring Nick Williams, the then manager of the San Francisco Seals. So this is my first Zeenut card. I got it at a pretty good price because it's, obviously in bad shape. The banks are black. The backs are blank. Sorry about that. As my grandmother used to say, I got my tongue caught over my eye tooth and I couldn't see what I was saying. So sometimes I stumble that way. And you can see how badly it's creased in the back, too. So this looks like it spent some time in a kid's back pocket. Well, that's what I have to show you today. And very happy to add all of those cards to the collection, make some progress on a couple of sets, add some important, one-off cards to my collection. And I do kind of enjoy that aspect of collecting as well. Something I want to share with you, I recently put my 1958 Topps set in new archival sheets. And in the process of doing that, I noticed something that I'd never noticed before. I've completed this set relatively early on, and so I've had it for a fairly large number of years not to have ever noticed this before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a card from the 1958 set, and I'm going to take it out of the top loader so that I can show you maybe without so much glare. And I want you to focus on Ozzie Virgil's hat. And let's see if I can get that to come into focus. There we kind of in and out, didn't it? There we go. It just winks in and out. I probably should try to, there we go. And if you notice the emblem, the logo on the hat, the F is higher than the S, and it's a slightly different script than we're used to seeing. And so that you can compare, I'm going to get out a 1958 Topps card that has a picture of the hat. And you can see on the hat the regular San Francisco emblem, where the S is higher than the F. Now, the reason for that, I think, is that for some reason, Topps put, not having perhaps a regulation San Francisco Giant logo hat, put a San Francisco Seals emblem on some of the players' hats. The Willie Mays is not affected because Willie has his cap so far back on his head that you can't see the emblem. And that's true of a number of other players. And I think maybe late in the set, there may be one or two or three examples where the SF is the correct version, the San Francisco Giants version. I looked at the Zeenut card, and unfortunately, Mr. Williams doesn't have an emblem on his hat, so I couldn't use that as a way. But so I did go to the internet and downloaded a picture of a San Francisco Seals hat. And there it is. There's the emblem, and you can plainly see that the F is higher on the cap than the S. And this is a that's the San Francisco Seals emblem. It does look quite a bit. So that's what I think happened. It's interesting, and I'd pass that information along to you. And that's what I have to show you today and to talk about. And I'm going to go ahead then and conclude this video, and we will reconvene at a later date to look at some modern cards that I acquired this past week. In the meantime, this is Rocket Rick J18, wishing that all your collecting dreams come true.